Hey, this is Anthony from RevZilla. Watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new Held Tour Guide Kangaroo Glove, available at RevZilla.com. So you heard me mention our favorite marsupials down under. This is a full kangaroo glove from Held called the Tour Guide. Now it's going to come in just under the $200 mark, and if we look at it, one of the interesting things that jumped out about it for us was the narrow window of seasonal use for this glove. So really well executed, there's a lot going on here, but ultimately you're looking at a glove that has a perforated palm, non-perforated backside of the hand. It's not waterproof, so we think about 3-season warm, but much more geared to spring and fall riding with a little bit of a step through the summer depending on how much ventilation you want. Again, not insulated to go across the winter, but you are getting a full kangaroo glove, which means it's going to be lightweight, but really carry that supple feel and great fit from Held. Now, we look at it, Kangaroo always commands a premium. I don't think they're overpricing this glove. There's a ton of protection here that we're going to walk through, but the other thing that jumped out about it with this glove is you're using a material called Suprotec that works its way all the way up through the top of the hand, the fingers, the knuckle, even its way down to the gauntlet. And what it does is it actually creates a bit of a bear claw factor to this glove. So really, what I could say about my only other negative, that's a major negative outside of the limited seasonal range by not having it be waterproof or more fully ventilated, is that it kind of looks like a cartoon hand that you hit with a hammer. It's just a big beefy glove, and I'm a guy with thin fingers, but that's Held looking at it saying we're making a Suprotec reinforced kangaroo glove and we're trading form for function. So if you're really in that mix that wants the added benefit of comfort and protection and you're willing to have it be a little bit more bulky and generic and just look like that bigger touring glove, that is ultimately a trade-off that we were willing to make, or we don't think there are people out there that aren't willing to make. Keep that in mind. Quick note on fitment though, here with the Held Tour Guide, it's going to fit consistently within the Held theme. I'm wearing a size 10. I typically wear a large and more American cut gloves like an Icon or a First Gear. In Euro gloves like an Alpine Stars, I'm an extra large. So no surprises here. It's numeric sizing from Held. I'm a size 10, again, staying within the consistency of their size range. And I will also call this out too. One of the things that's great about Held, I have really thin fingers, but if you have thicker fingers, the step seam construction and the boxiness of this fingers is a very consistent theme from Held, and it actually gives you more room to work with. You don't feel those step seams. It's a very comfortable glove. And being that it's going to be kangaroo, especially here in the perforated palm, it's a lightweight leather that doesn't trade abrasion resistance, but really allows you great tactile response and feel. So again, tying with that fit scheme. The things that I don't like about the fit, I don't like a little bit of this elastication at the base of the hand. It's just in an odd area. You feel it a little bit. It's not scratchy. It's not getting in the way of my riding. But again, it's just like awkwardly done. But on the back side of the hand, I do like that they've added an accordion stretch panel here to allow this knuckle to move freely. So again, fitment-wise, it's rock solid. It's consistent within the Held family. Now, use the size chart. We'll ship free over 39 bucks. And I'd love it if you click our logo, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel. Leave me your comments, your questions, your feedback on the new Held Tour Guide. Now, back of the hand, working our way down, let's get into the details here a little bit further. You're going to notice that on this gauntlet, it is a nice high gauntlet that you can cinch down and go under the cuff, or it's big enough that you can go over the cuff. Notice you're getting that big gusset right there. The other thing, it's going to be a medial side closure. You'll see it done in full leather. Again, they're not skimping here on the materials. And you do have a hard part along the ulna bone. That's going to give you better slide protection and better impact protection if you happen to have a low side. Now, we talked about Suprotec earlier. We'll talk about it again, and we'll cover, it's the entire back of the hand. It is a dense molecular foam. It adds almost a memory quality to it. It is a shock absorbing material. You even have it in a gauntlet. So I would imagine that if I saw a lesser glove manufacturer that wanted to cut costs, you'd have your Suprotec in the fingers, you have it back of the hand, and it might just be regular leather here in the gauntlet. Held has chosen to go all the way up. Now, working our way down, you're going to see that on the back side of the hand, you do have that wrist closure to keep it on your hand in case you have an off. I love to see these on the bottom. That's a personal preference thing. I think it's far enough back that I'm not going to feel it on this glove. But again, that might be one of my other grapes too. But it's well done, nicely finished with a nice TPR pull. Now, we already talked about the back of the hand, the elastication. Let's work our way to the knuckle. Find the knuckle to be ergonomic. It's not overly wide. It's not stretching. It's not pulling. It's moving with me. And the design is low profile. Again, kangaroo fabric on the back of the hand as well. Many times we'll see a lesser glove go to a cowl on the back to save cost. They've done a full kangaroo glove here, which is actually really nice. Moving to the fingers, mid-digital elastication, moving down towards the edges of the fingers. You have that Suprotec working its way in. You can feel it when you press down on it. Again, additional layer of protection across the top of every finger. Now, what that limits them from doing is perforating it or limiting the airflow. So again, in the summertime, it's going to become a warmer glove because air hitting the top of your hand, which is typically an area that helps it stay cool, is not going to have the ability to permeate this leather as much. Again, so you're making that trade-off. Now, on the top of this hand, one of the other gripes that I really called out even earlier in this video, but I missed it, is the fact that there's no reflective on this glove. Now, it's not waterproof. They're not coming out of the gate saying wear it in the rain, although you might get caught in the occasional cloudburst. But by not having any reflective on this glove, I think that's a bit of a miss. For around the $200 mark, around the $180 mark, even a single pop of reflective would go a long way. And again, they are still giving you the held visor wiper, which is great for bugs, but it's also great as a squeegee if you happen to get wet. Notice, Perf's kangaroo leather makes its way along the inside of the hand there, inside of the finger. Mid-digital elastication across the thumb. You have your Suprotec all the way through the thumb as well. That creates this memory foam, again, feel, giving you that extra layer of protection. Moving our way into the palm of the hand, let's start with the SuperFabric. We haven't talked about that yet. Tiny laser welded ceramic plates on top of a light layer of foam. Again, they're going to allow you to slide 14 times longer than leather, 14 times longer than a lot of other materials. Again, actually, I believe it's 14 times longer than Kevlar, and it's 4x of leather, but that's why we see SuperFabric working away in molecular material. That's a nice upgrade. We wish it came over a little bit further and maybe carried the scaphoid or maybe the ball of the thumb. You do have a suede control patch here, which is going to give you another area of connection. It's also going to give you a little bit more durability, an area of high wear on the hand, maybe potentially run it across the calluses of your fingers as well, give you a little bit further protection when you're gripping and when you're throttling. Again, a little bit of a pre-curve. We've already talked about the box seam construction on the fingers. It is kangaroo. You have to feel it to believe it. It is one of those things that people that haven't worn kangaroo gloves the first time they put them in say, wow, that is something different. That is an upgrade. And then the other big gripe I have here when we look at the seam construction is they didn't carry the out seam. A little bit of extra layer just working its way up just to give you that extra protection against bursting if you go down and happen to have a low side crash. Again, they hit it with the ulna, but they missed on the outside of the hand. So all in, you know, if I had to give it a letter grade, which I typically don't do, I'm really looking for around the $180 mark, giving it about a B. Love the usage of the materials, but think with some simple changes, it could have been a much better glove. And again, it wouldn't have added a ton of cost to take it to that next level. But again, the held tour guide for specificity, 3-season, warm weather, using that Suprotec, using the SuperFabric, and then integrating the kangaroo, it adds a nice comfort and protection quality to what I would believe to be a full cuff touring glove from the premium set. Now, the next step in your journey is to click the info button, your desktop, your mobile device. Visit the product detail page at RevZilla.com. Read other rider reviews. You shouldn't just take my word for it. As always, we'll ship free over 39 bucks. If you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our detailed breakdown. Remember, subscribe to us at RevZilla on our YouTube channel. Stay up to date with our opinion, the latest and greatest in the moto universe. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.